Hello everybody and welcome back to the American Dynasty channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Americans, right? The Americans that have played in the Premier League, in the Italian league, whatever did happen in this week between Monday and Thursday. We are going to be talking about it here in this video within this YouTube channel, and we're going to be talking about Steffen, Weah, Conor De La Fuente, Mckennie, Busio, and so many other great players. And so it's going to be very interesting. This is going to be like a podcast type of video because right now I'm trying to test out some things. I'm trying to see whether if you guys actually like this type of vibe. I don't know. Let me know after this video is over if you feel like this video seems too slow or maybe too fast. Let me know in the comment sections down below. But let's first start with Steffen. So Steffen did play this week for not in the Premier League. In the Premier League, he did not play in that league. He did play for a English Cup. He did start in that game, and it was a huge deal, right? Because we don't see Steffen start all the time because Pep Guardiola likes using his other preferred goalkeeper, and Steffen rarely sees the field. And I think that to see Steffen actually start in this game, it was extraordinary, right? It was fascinating to see. And he did have some COVID problems about 4 to 5 days ago. He was not expected to play in this week, but since he did recover from COVID, he did start in this match against Wycombe. And again, I think that with him getting this start is really going to continue to show the United States men's national team that this should be a goalkeeper that should be starting. Because right now, his competitor right now in the international team, it is Matt Turner. And the fact that he got to play in this game and to show how and to see how City won in this game, right? 6-1 against Wycombe. That's a huge deal. And Zach, look, even though City did win 6-1, he was still very tested. Like Wycombe could have scored 2 or 3 goals if Zach did not make those saves that he did in that match. And like, for example, right, there has been some controversy in this game, right? Steffen, he had to do and block this specific corner, and there was a lot of controversy on how he blocked that corner, but in the end, only for Wycombe to score the first goal within this game. Like, for example, right, you guys are going to be seeing in the video, so you guys can see exactly what I am talking about. You can see that point number 1, people were complaining that Steffen's punch was too weak. That ball literally went to the opposition, and that is the way that Wycombe scored their first goal. And many people were complaining about that. Point number 2, when that ball deflected, right? It deflected off of one of the players inside the box. Steffen did not have enough speed, or his quickness was not good enough to run up to that ball and save the ball in order for Wycombe to not score. People were saying that he was too slow. But I do have some other things to say about that, because if we really think about it, right, if we look at this play here, we can see that his punch was weak only because there were 2 players that was in his way. And when you have 2 players in your way and you're trying to punch a ball, that momentum is going to stop, right? And going on to the point number 2, how his run-up was so slow. The only reason why it was that run-up was too slow and he did not react quick enough to get the ball, it is because it took a huge deflection. And when there is a huge deflection and that ball is moving quickly, it is very hard for the goalkeeper to react quickly and try to follow the ball on where it was going. And so I think that is the only reason why Steffen got scored on. It is because he was just unlucky. And he also did made a huge save on the 66th minute. Wycombe could have scored a goal and make it 3-2. It could have been 3-2, but he made a huge save, and Wycombe could have been losing 3-2 instead of losing 3-1. But Steffen made the save, and I think that the overall performance, the final rating, it is going to be a 7.5 out of 10. It was a great performance coming from Steffen. Moving on towards the next player, and we're going to go to France, and we are going to be talking about Timothy Weah. Timothy Weah did play against Reims, right? He is a player that does play for Lille. He did play a total of 61 minutes, and to be very honest, he was not too involved in this match. I think that the other players that was surrounding him, right, his teammates, they were doing all of the work, and Weah really didn't do much, right? He did not bring those potential assist or potential goals. He had zero touches inside the box. 0 touches as a left winger. He has 0 shot assist, 0 assist, 0 goals, 0 shots that were on target. And many people are going to be saying, but Kevin, Wea was playing a much deeper role than what he was used to. And I would argue that because I think that even though he was playing much deeper than usual, he was playing as a left winger, you should still be showing some sort of threat. And if you look at the stats, right, it shows you how high he was receiving the balls. He was receiving the balls pretty high. Like I don't get how I don't get how he was not effective inside and outside the box. And he did create a big opportunity. Like we said, besides that, that was basically it. Wea did not really do much. Hopefully we can see more from Wea. And so my overall performance, the performance rating for this player, it is going to be a 6 out of 10. Moving on to Mckennie, this player did not really do much. I'm just going to skip him. He only played about 9 to 10 minutes. He is a center forward. I don't know if you guys know about this player, but he is a center forward. Again, he did not play much. He received the ball twice, and when he did receive the ball twice, he back passed to one of the defenders or midfielders, so not really much I can say there. He had one chance inside the box, but it was nowhere near accurate. Like, it was way off the goal. So no rating for Mckennie. And that's about it. Moving on to Conrad De La Fuente. He did play against Angers. Sorry if I mispronounce this club's name, but Conor De La Fuente did play for Marseille again. And this is where everything gets very exciting, right? Because in this game, he did play 34 minutes. He played 34 minutes. He came in on the 59th minute of this match, and as soon as he touched the pitch, he was killing it. Like, you can see that there was so much effectiveness coming from Conor De La Fuente. Now, here's what makes this player so interesting, right? Is to know that you can really tell when that Conor De La Fuente is on a mission. Like, he is on a mission to show to the people, to the coaches, to the staff, to his ex-club Barcelona, to show his worth. He wants to show exactly what he is capable of, because he had an interview not too long ago, about 4 to 5 days ago, and he said that the only reason why he left Barcelona this season or this summer, it is because he wanted to see more minutes, because at Barcelona, Koeman was not going to give him minutes. Koeman relied on other players, on other wingers, and he told, I believe he told Conor De La Fuente that he was not going to receive a lot of minutes this season. And Conrad is a player that is very young. He wants to see minutes. And so that is why he made that move to Marseille into the French league. And in that interview, he said that the only reason why he came to that club, Marseille, is because he wants to have minutes to show to Barcelona that he is a quality player. This is why I say that Conor De La Fuente is on a mission, right? He wants to show to Barcelona that he is a player that where they can count on him. And he also said that he hopes that he could come back to Barcelona. And I think that is a beautiful thing to say. I think that when a player is thinking in that way, I hope nothing but the best for them. I hope that he continues to succeed, because right now in the French league, he has a total of 2 assists, and he was playing as a left wing back, as a left winger, as a left wing forward. And one of those assists that he has displayed on the field, it came from him playing as a left wing back. So it shows that he can be very efficient in many different positions in a very short period of time. And if we were to look at Marseille's average position, this is going to be 2 pictures, right? The picture on the left is going to be showing you guys. Wait, let me see if I could pull up the picture here. Okay, yeah. So if you look at the picture on the left, this was Marseille's average position. Average position, right? You look at how low they are. Now let's look at the picture on the right side where Conrad De La Fuente came in, and you can see that Marseille's average position for all of the players were much, much higher. Why? It is because Conrad is a player that can lead a team forward. He is a player that can carry the ball forward. And that is why I do say that Conrad makes Marseille that much better. And there was this offensive duel, right, on the 63rd minute. I'm going to be showing you guys a video where he does receive the ball very high. I think that this is the best way this is exactly where Conor De La Fuente can be the most dangerous and the most efficient, is to receive the ball that high up the pitch. Because when he receives the ball that high up the pitch, he places that ball into space and he runs to that space, and then he looks for to either shoot the ball or to make a through ball or like a cross into the box, right? That is the Conor De La Fuente that many do know, and he has been doing excellent at doing so. And I think that if he continues, I think that if his teammates understand this player, Conor De La Fuente, that he is a player that likes to receive the ball very high up the field because they know that he is very dangerous outside the box, then they should really work towards trying to bring that ball as high as possible for Conor De La Fuente to do some damage and to create a goal scoring opportunity. So it's very interesting. And that's basically it. I think that Conor De La Fuente has been doing very well. If we look at the graph here, we can see that one of the players that has created the most chances has been Conor De La Fuente, and he came in third place. He has created a total of 2 chances, and he only played 34 minutes. If you look at the player that is in second place, one of his teammates, he has created a total of 4 chances for his team. And he did that in 84 minutes. Conor De La Fuente did it in 34 minutes. Just imagine what you could do when Conor De La Fuente plays 84 to 90 minutes. He is going to be the most effective player on Marseille and be the most important player for his club. So we want to see more of this player. We cannot continue to see Conor play 30 to 35 minutes. That's ridiculous. He's a player that deserves much more minutes. So my overall rating for this player in this match is going to be a 7.5 out of 10. Moving on towards Mckennie. Mckennie did play for Juventus. Juventus did play against Spezia. Now, we have to remember that Mckennie is in a period where he needs to find his form. And Juventus in this game played in a 4-4-2. Mckennie did play as a central defensive midfielder. He was one of the deepest midfielders in that midfield, and that was basically his role. And I understand, right? Because I have been seeing the comments on what these Italians and what these fans of Juventus have been saying about Mckennie. I understand that they are frustrated with this player, because if you were to compare the Mckennie that we saw in the beginning of his debut with Juventus, and then we compare that Mckennie to the Mckennie that we see today, many are going to be saying Mckennie has only downgraded, right? And you know that's true. Those are facts. Like Mckennie in the first 2 or 3 months with Juventus, he was a rock star. He was doing amazing. And he was scoring a goal, he was bringing in assists. So stat-wise, yes, he has downgraded. But to be very honest, if you were to look at the games and to see what he actually does offer, you can see that Mckennie is a player that he can still give a lot. He is still showing that he can be a box-to-box midfielder, a player that can time his runs very well, check in at the right times, because Juventus really do count on a player like that. He arrives in perfect moments 100% of the time. And there was a moment on the 55th minute where he created himself a huge chance, arrived to the box, read the game very well, he saw the space, he received the ball, but only for him to shoot the ball over the goal, right? But if you were to really pay attention to Mckennie's movement towards that space, that is high football IQ. That is something that you do not see in many players in Europe. I think that the only thing that is really missing when it comes to Mckennie is his ability to pass and shoot. Now, I understand, right? I really understand that when it comes to a footballer, your foundation has to be based off passing well and shooting well. Mckennie right now, he is not one of the best players in Europe when it comes to passing the ball and shooting the ball. But when it comes to his timing on runs, right, arriving to the opposition's box or your own box, he does that. He is amazing at doing that. And I think that if he continues to get better at his passing and his shooting, Juventus is going to be asking for more of Mckennie. They want to see more minutes coming from Mckennie, and they're going to value this player much, much more. And so it's going to be a matter of time, right? It's just a matter of time. We're going to have to play this waiting game to see if Mckennie does improve or not. But in this game specifically, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Moving on towards Tessman. Now, he did not play much. Again, he's just like a player like Gioacchini. He only played about 8 to 9 minutes. I'm not going to be giving him a rating because, again, he did not receive a lot of minutes. So moving on towards Busio with AC Milan. Now, again, this is where things get very interesting, right? Because Busio is one of the most highly talked about American players right now. Because we haven't seen a player like Busio play. We haven't seen a profile like him play for the United States play for the USA men's national team. Like, I can't even speak right, because when it comes to Busio, I'm a big fan of Busio. Now, in this game, Venezia lost against AC Milan 0-2. But that does not mean that Busio did not perform, because let me tell you, Busio really did perform. And he's starting in every game for this club. Like, ever since he did not participate in that match, which was the debut for Venezia, which was against Napoli, ever since that game, besides that game, he has been playing in every minute and in every game. Now, why is that the case? It is because, like, in this game, right, it was just another example. He showed that he can retain the ball, hide the ball from the opposition. He was always pressured by the AC Milan players, and especially Tonali. Like, Tonali was really getting a headache coming from Busio, and we all know who Tonali is and how great he is. So it was literally Tonali versus Busio. But Busio was adapting so well to that press. It's like you cannot take the ball away from him. Like, no matter what AC Milan were trying to do, Busio always had the ball. It just felt like the teammates coming from Venezia, they really did trust this player. They trusted Busio to retain the ball because they knew that the ball was going to be safe with this player. And that's a huge deal, because this is the Italian league we're talking about. The Italian league, defensively, it's one of the hardest leagues. And the fact that Busio made it look that easy on the field when he is on the ball, right? I'm not going to say world class, but it's just amazing, right? But let me critique this player a little bit more, right? Because I think that there is some defensive issues that he is showing. Like, for example, when AC Milan had the ball and they were gaining momentum and they were trying to attack Venezia and trying to score the first goal or second goal, Venezia were trying to defend very low. They created a low block, and Busio had to participate in that low block. He had to participate in a low block, and when he was performing as a central defensive midfielder, he was not doing well. We can even look at this video here showing how badly he marked one of the players from AC Milan, and they almost scored. So his man marking does need to improve, right? He is so easy. Like, you can easily outbody this player when it comes to Busio. And that's basically the only critique I do have, is that physically he has to get better. When it comes to his man marking, he also does need to get better. But besides that, I think that on the ball, his passing, his vision, the way that he plays, it really does suit the league, right? The league really does suit him. They complement each other, and that's amazing to see. If we look at the ratings coming from FootMob, they have said that Busio is the best player that has played for Venezia so far in this season. If we look at the Sofa Score rating, they have also stated that Busio is the best player for Venezia as of now in this season. So there is just so much to look forward to. Like, if you were to tell me that in the World Cup of 2022 or 2026 that we could see a midfield of Mckennie, Busio, Tyler Adams, and Yunus Musah, I don't know. I would literally fanboy, because it would be a midfield that no one would try to. No one would be able to take the ball away from those players. No one, if they continue to progress in this way. So I'm very happy with Busio, and I'm going to give him a final rating of 8 out of 10. Now let's move on towards Spain, right? I'm going to just quickly talk about Matt Miazga. Again, another player that did not play a lot of minutes. He did play against Espanyol. He played a total of 4 minutes in this match. So no rating for me, Matt Miazga. Now let's move on towards Yunus Musah. Yunus Musah in this game, Valencia did play against Sevilla in this week. Yunus Musah was one of the most exciting players on the pitch. This was also a very exciting game. Now, Valencia did lose against Sevilla 3-1. Sevilla scored 3 goals in 30 minutes, and Valencia scored their first goal after the 30 minutes. But that, again, it does not mean that Yunus Musah did not perform well against Sevilla, because he did. He really did show up, and it showed why Valencia cannot make the exact same mistake on putting in Yunus Musah on the 46th minute. Like please, like if someone could contact Valencia, tell them to not put Yunus Musah on the 46th minute. Like, play him in the very beginning of the game. You want to know why? Because Yunus Musah, he progressed the ball. The way that he progresses the ball moving forward, it makes Valencia that much better. He really reminds me of Conor De La Fuente. Like, not in terms of the playing style, but what he could contribute towards the team. Yunus Musah did play as a right winger in this game. If you were to look at his average position, he was, right? Even though he was a right winger, he was the highest player on that pitch. Now, why is that the case? It is because of what we have discussed before. Yunus Musah is the player that brings Valencia forward. He progresses the ball well. He comes from the midfield, right? Coming from his own side, and can actually take the ball all the way into the opposition side and make that final pass to one of the Valencia players. Yunus Musah is that good. I think that Valencia right now are really depending on Musah to drive the ball forward. And this is exactly, my friends, exactly what the United States men's national team are missing. They are missing a midfielder that can drive the ball forward. They are missing a midfielder that is showing that he is very hard to knock down, because Yunus Musah's strength and technical ability is 100%. You can't take the ball. Like if you try to get Ibrahimovic, right? Or actually, let's say Vidal. Let's have Vidal and Van Dijk try to take the ball away from Yunus Musah. Only for Yunus Musah to outbody both of those players, I would believe you. Like if we found out that happened in a game, Yunus Musah is capable to do that. He is very physically strong, and I love that. The USA men's national team, they need a player like that. We don't have a carrier like that. Mckennie cannot carry the ball like that. Tyler Adams cannot carry the ball like that. And go look at the highlights right now. Go look at the highlights on how Yunus Musah played against Sevilla and how he progressed and carried the ball into Sevilla's box. It is amazing. Let's look at videos right here, right? If we look at the first video, we can see that this is a video of him playing against Real Madrid. He's analyzing, he's looking around, he's trying to see, okay, where can I pass it to? And then he decides to take the ball, but only for these inside the box. He receives the ball from his teammate, and then he just back passes the ball back to the player, and then creates a very big opportunity for Valencia to score, right? So in these two videos that we just saw, it is showing that he is technically gifted, that he is physically gifted. And I just can't wait to see Musah in October, man. Like, I really want to see Musah start in that midfield. We did not see him in the previous games because he was injured, but now he is fully healthy. He is ready, and I'm ready to see a Musah, Mckennie, Tyler Adams midfield with Busio in there, maybe coming in for Yunus Musah or Mckennie, who knows? But we want to see more opportunities with Yunus Musah in the USA shirt. So my final rating in this game is going to be a 7.5 out of 10. Now let's move on towards Serginho Dest. Now, I am a Barcelona expert. Well, I'm not even going to call myself an expert because I feel like I'm hyping myself too much. But Serginho Dest, I know everything that's going on in Barcelona right now. Like when it comes to Serginho Dest, he is currently playing as a left back. And the only reason why they're playing him in the left back position is because Jordi Alba, Alejandro Balde, two left backs in Barcelona are injured, which basically means that Barcelona is forced to place Serginho Dest on the left back position. And Barcelona is simply in crisis, right? Financially, they are in crisis. Sportingly, they're in crisis. Injury-wise, they are in crisis. Spiritually, they are in crisis. Emotionally, they are in crisis. And that is why we're seeing Serginho Dest on the left back position. And to be very honest, when we talk about this game against Cadiz, Barcelona versus Cadiz, a game that ended 0-0, where we knew that Barcelona had no attacking players. Well, they actually did, but Koeman right now is not bringing the best out of his front line. One of the players that created the most opportunities has been Serginho Dest, and he was playing as a left back for Barcelona. He was not playing as a striker or a left winger. And one of the players that created the most opportunities for Barcelona, it was Dest. He was one of the most dangerous players out there, and he was playing again as a left back. Now, what does that tell us? It shows us that he is evolving as a player, that he is capable to bring results as a left back, as a right back. And I know that we have discussed how Dest has shown to be defensively a liability, right? You cannot really count on him if we see Sané or Gnabry run into Serginho Dest. But in this game against Cadiz and Granada specifically, he has really been improving defensively in these past two games. He really has. And to get more specific about this game with Cadiz, he had a total of 1 clearance, block shots 2, interceptions 0, tackles 3, and he dribbled past a player twice. And if we look at the heat map on your right side, we can see just where he was effective at. He was one of the most dangerous players for Barcelona as a left back. Like, I cannot wait to see what he could do for the USA men's national team. Now, he has scored for the USA team already as a left back when he cut in and then he shot into the top right corner. That was a beautiful thing to see. But overall, Dest the final rating for Serginho's game against Cadiz, it is going to be a 7 out of 10 because he was simply just way too involved. Now let's move on towards the last player, and that is going to be about Matthew Hoppe. Now, Matthew Hoppe right now, I'm going to say that I am impressed. I'm very impressed to see. I'm impressed because he is showing that he is adapting in the Spanish league very quickly. Do I think that he has adapted fully? No, but he is adapting very quickly. Now, in this game, they have been trashed, like annihilated. Mallorca lost against Real Madrid 6-1. 6-1. But the good thing is that Matthew Hoppe, he has provided an assist in this game, which shows that he is a good striker, right? He is evolving as a player. I'm not going to say that he had a masterclass performance against Real Madrid, because if you guys know the type of form that Real Madrid is in, Real Madrid right now, they are a monster. Benzema scoring like about 2 or 3 goals like in every game, and same for like Asensio. Like, they have been on fire, and so they really didn't give Matthew Hoppe a chance to actually create. But we have seen some bright moments in that match where he's shown his technique, that he's able to drop deep into the midfield and link up with them. Like, he is able to drop deep and then do a 1-2 and then go into space and try to create something for Mallorca, right? The only player that's actually really creating for Mallorca, it is either Kubo or Matthew Hoppe. And in the previous game, before this match against Real Madrid, Mallorca actually substituted Matthew Hoppe in this game. But in this game against Real Madrid, they actually started with Matthew Hoppe. It shows you that Mallorca is actually trusting on Hoppe to actually bring something great to the table. And so it's a great thing to see. Again, I cannot really say much because he did not show his full like potential on the field. Again, it was a very hard opposition. He did play against one of the toughest teams in the league, but I do expect Matthew Hoppe to score more goals for Mallorca because of how fast he is adapting towards the league and with his teammates in Mallorca. And so I honestly cannot wait to see how he does with the USA men's national team. I want to see a front line potentially of Gio Reyna, Matthew Hoppe, and Christian Pulisic. That would be a great thing to see. Matthew Hoppe is a player that has the technical ability to link up with Pulisic and Gio Reyna inside and outside the box. I would love to see that. So the final rating in this game, because he did not show much, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. And that is going to be the final player that we are going to be talking about within this video. That is going to be wrapping up today's American Dynasty video. Let me know who was your favorite player that performed the best in this week that did play between Monday and Thursday. I'm going to be releasing another video on Monday or Tuesday, and that video is going to be about what did happen between Friday and Sunday, right? Whatever happens in